Hello, good day, happy Wednesday, wisdom with all of you. So, the delay once again is for some reason we are just having weird glitches in our Facebook Live, so we're going to be continuing to perfect our relationship with that. Meanwhile, let's see. Uh, sometimes one of the things I like to do is play with my affirmation statements based on the alphabet. It's a little game. So I pick a letter of the alphabet and then create words, create the statement with a word that begins with that letter. Easy one. P. I am playful. I am passionate. I am peaceful. I am pondering. I am purposeful. So that kind of thing. So I invite you. Some letters of the alphabet become a little challenge, but so what? Then skip, go to another letter, or don't play at all. But I just think it's a fun thing um, to alliterate my affirmations sometimes to maybe discover a new word to affirm as an essence as part of my being. So there is um, uh, a way. I also wanted to share that the some of the methods that I've used with my breath, for example, center around the circular breath is my primary breath work, as some call it. But more important than that to me, or equally important, is how to manage the mental interpretation of the things that are being felt. So um, sometimes I'll feel a tension and think, and it maybe consciously relates to something that has triggered me with anxiety, an event, or something someone said. But the method is to connect the breath in this circular but infinity loop way, and it is connected without pause and holding of anything. So, for example, then if I'm having this something as idea or an event that has brought about a tension in my body, I focus on the feeling in the body. And if I have, like in any other meditation, I suppose, thoughts or ideas of how it got there, why it's there, blah, 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 just keep returning to the feeling, the physical feeling. And there's at some point in that process, which could be minutes, it could be an hour at times, that when the feeling is persistent or worsening in any way, we shift the rhythm of the breath to a slower or faster pace, but also asking the inner being questions like, how do I feel that I feel that? How, so, maybe I'm feeling mm, anger. How do I feel that I'm feeling anger? Sad. How do I feel that I feel sad? So it's not to get overly mental, but there's a part of trying to continue to steer it into the transmuting or the fullness of the energy being moved through the breath. So that's a very quick kind of idea of it. I've spent a long time teaching and facilitating uh, personal sessions with people and classes and certifying people to be able to support people with this kind of breath uh, tool. So I've been doing that a lot. And I've been realizing how much story I have about why I feel the way and analyzing what I can do about it and how I can bring it into control or how I can analyze it to make me valid and right about how I feel. I'm noticing those mental patterns and it's brought me back to the breath in the simplicity of it, quieting that part of my mind that wants to control and analyze it and justify it, into just being present with the energy. I'm not trying to get rid of it. I'm trying to allow it to transmute, to move through the body. So that's in a nutshell. Questions about this? Give me a little message and we'll see how we can support that exploration with you. Excuse the body. Once again, this happens many mornings these days. So I may be having to start some allergy medications or support. So I say medication supplements. So with that, I bless you. Have a beautiful time with Spirit. Here I go. Ate Malkud Vege Buddha Vege Dula Leolam Amen. Thou art the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and forever. And so it is. My beloveds, I bring you the peace that I am. I bring you the peace that we are. I remind you that there is nothing more to seek in the kingdom of the divine, the heavens, that is not already here with you. So in the counting of days, in the millennium and beyond, some have laid a hope or belief that I will return in my form as Jeshua. Those who believe would prefer to call me Jesus. So be it. And in that belief, oftentimes the ignoring of the personal power of the I am that is available, that is guiding, that is present, that brings all of these gifts unto your own wholeness. Would it be so much, we could say, so much, to ask that you strip away the stories of what is perceived as my life and my struggles, though they may bring hope in overcoming things, oftentimes misguided in that it is not available except through my personality of who I am. It's available because I speak it to you and it is true for you. The kingdom is within. I and the Father are one, and it is so for all of us. Strip away the stories. Feel the love I have given you. Whether it was I have given it to you, through you, with you, in the times that are recorded, or at any time in your life journeys. The hope of what is possible, I give you. But the story is misunderstood often and is a crutch often. We say crutch because it becomes something that is available separate from who you are, at the essence of your being. Will you be then with me? It isn't that the miracles are not powerful stories of the possibility of the divine acting in life to support and give everything needed. They are demonstration Matai, one of my beloved family of light, called Matthew by most now, was one of my primary scribes of the stories and of the teachings. Thus I asked him to perform that for the legacy of truth that this beloved group of light that I had gathered with me would be able to remember and to give teaching and support to those who want to be the light, to experience being the light. And yet, Matai's words were his words, recording what he believed he heard of my words, then reinterpreted and redirected by the translation of language and by religious controls, what would be appropriate to leave out of the story, what would be appropriate to change in the story. That is why I say the story is value, that it is not the essence of the teaching. Does it matter whether I was the only son of Mary and Joseph? Does it matter whether or not I had siblings? Does it matter whether I was married, whether Magdalena and myself had a great relationship? Does it matter? Perhaps to some it gives a new awareness of humanity, to the life we all shared. But it is not important enough to fight about, to argue truth or untruth. It's important only that you know that my relationship with each of you is as it would have been with my 12, with my 20, with my hundreds that I spoke with in this time, which was meant to be a transition of control to the freedom of soul. So because others have made stories more important than the truth of my being, the teaching of my life and my words of divine that I have worked in the human way for eons to gather and to bring forth. All those that struggle with controlling, manipulating, or living in the falseness of a religion I did not create, we want to know that it is because they have need for the message, that they have love that is untapped in their being, that their peace is distorted, seeking power, control of agreement with everyone, rather than allowing others. So it is true that I did speak harshly about and to the Sadducees, the Pharisees of the day, the leaders of temple. I called forth them to be open and ready to receive a deeper meaning, a deeper knowledge of what they believed to be the word of the divine given to them. The laws of Moses, that they were believed to be accurate. The laws of Moses were very simple. There were not pages upon pages upon pages of specific rights and wrongs and dogmas. They were more than suggestions, but they were a summation of what's possible for humanity when you live by a law of honor of the Father, Mother, God, and all you have relation with on this planet. So we won't analyze those things with you today. We will not break down each of those laws and how and what it really means. You know that already. What we know beyond the laws of Moses is the simplification that I brought forth. Love the divine, the God, creator, source, with all your being. And love your neighbor as it would be your own soul. Did not teach how to do that. Yes, suggestions, what might be in the way and what you could do and think to clear up ideas of separation. And it was not meant, any of my teaching, to create more laws, more rules. So, where did all those distortions begin? Well, maybe Peter, who has since repented in his soul for the misunderstanding of his power. And I just say maybe because everyone who heard my words, who felt my presence, who experienced the light that we are together, are all part of the longing to have me, an identity of Jesus, becoming returned and fixing it all. There's no such thing. I will return. I always have said so. I may or may not have form. It doesn't even matter because I do not want followers and worshipers. I am not the Savior. I was not meant to be the Savior. I was meant to be the messenger with the truth. As some have said, the truth that could set you free. Beloveds, I will always be with you, in or not in form, but I am the same I am that you are. Thou art the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and forever. And so it is. Some call that the Lord's Prayer, or the part of it, referring, I am the Lord that brought forth words of powerful union with the divine and with one another. Do not make of it what it is not. Feel it for what it is. Can I be more clear? Let us then say, my beloveds of the time knew me to have a wondrous sense of humor, as some would refer to it. I could laugh. I could tell jokes, maybe not great jokes, but I was not serious every moment. I laughed, I played, I danced. I, in my body, was not solemn every moment, but I knew the importance of solemn consciousness, of quiet moments, of the shifting of behaviors which were chaotic. I knew when to break the law, when the law was a man-made law that did not serve the divine. So quite rebellious at times. Almost, some would say, naive, right? How bad could it be to just say no to the stuff which did not feel good? Who could guess? Except I knew the cost. Some point along the way, following the truth that I was shown, I knew the cost. There is no cost that can remove any part of you. Your body is not your punishment, it is your gift. Your mind is not a trap until you have allowed it to feed distortion of truth. All of the things which are part of you in your humanness, I have witnessed, I have experienced, and I wish you the freedom of that. Requires discipline, practice, requires solitude and quiet, requires boldness, willingness, the will of the divine Father, Mother, God, the source of our wholeness and being, is not a specific thing for us. It is only that we live through anything and everything presented into our lives in the faith that we do, we say, we live by the law of love. Ponder these things and know I am with you. Shalom. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for my little journey today. I say little because it felt like a lot happening very quickly for me. I would just say I was sort of like, felt like my spirit was moving through, viewing life as if I was on one of those bullet trains or something. Very quickly. Enjoying scenery was sort of a possibility if I could just capture any point of it rather than to think I could slow everything down and get to be in it. And it gave me a new perspective of what slowing down means to be in it. That at some point of this quick through whatever I was experiencing, I had a thought, I can be in the moment now. And everything stopped. It wasn't fast, it was just stopped. I thought, whoa, look at that. I just said, I'm going to be in the moment, and I froze the moment. So as I was returning back to consciousness with my body, I could hear one of my guides or angels saying, you had the power all along, Dorothy. And I thought, oh yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to have to go deeper about what all that means. So thank you everyone for my ticket on the, literally on the ticket to ride on the train. It was very fascinating. I say train, I don't know what, if it was a vehicle or what was happening, except that it sort of felt like it might be like that, going faster than typical through life. So, as we are now getting halfway through this month, there's another play shop we're going to be uh, offering the last Saturday of November. Check out. See you next week, hopefully. Have a beautiful rest of your day or evening. Namaste.